Hi friends, so today I have a variety of plants here that we are going to pot up into 2 hanging baskets. So I have a nice selection here to choose from. And these are varieties like these here daisies are from Walmart. There's no name on them, but I think they're really striking. I have the island waterfall petunias that I grew from seed here. I have miscellaneous, a few waves and like a starlight petunia. I have nicotianas I totally forgot that I grew here that really need to be potted up. So we're going to put some of them in. They're looking a little shaky for coloring because they've had too much rain. So really good to get them in the ground. We have the verbena that I grew from seed that I've been slowly picking through and adding plants. Then I have some hanging crawling plants. I have some sweet potatoes of a different varieties here. And then of course I have the gorgeous green sweet potatoes that are pretty. And then I still have geraniums that I have not planted up here that I grew from seed as well. So we're going to make a basket, some hanging baskets. And if you remember last year, I did those hanging baskets, the cocoa weave ones. And we put holes in the side of the cocoa weave and we had the plants drape out of the sides to become a nice ball. Well, this year I'm going to take it up a notch. What I learned last year when I did that cocoa weave arrangement or hanging baskets is they were gorgeous. However, I had to water them all the time. So I thought there's got to be a better way of doing this. For those of us who don't have drip irrigation in everywhere, I'm not at that point yet, but I do have containers I've had for many years that are self-watering containers, so to speak. And they give me a few extra days where I don't have to go and keep watering. In fact, with those cocoa weeds, I was having to water twice a day because they were in west sun to keep them going. They were beautiful and they were worth it, but it was a lot of work. So this year I have another idea. So I said to Rob, can you put some holes in my self-watering containers here and I can use them and they will retain the water much longer and I won't have to water as often with these compared to the cocoa weed. And he said, sure, I think I can do that. So first he tried doing it and he went around and he had me mark out a circle where I wanted it. And he poked holes in with his drill and stuff. And that wasn't so great, but it was okay. I mean, nobody's going to see that. And then he got better at it and he managed to drill a hole. He found his tools for making the holes and was able to drill me 4 holes. So I have 4 holes on the sides of this container. This is the self-watering apparatus in the bottom of it I've had for years, which covers that hole. And then you can just fill the plant with water through that hole right there. So these are very old. We've had to restring a few of them, but this one's in good shape. So I have 2 of these that we're going to use today, and we're going to fill them with soil, and we're going to plant them up, and we're going to put our plants through these holes. And I'm just going to wing it. I'm going to pick from the table of plants that I have here, all these different colors, and we're going to make some beautiful arrangements. So let's get started. So I'm using again the Expert Triple Blend soil mixture that I love from Walmart. This has been my go-to that you've seen me use in other videos. So we're going to add some of this to the pot, but we're not going to fill it all the way up. We're going to come up to the first level of holes. Because we want to pot our plants through these holes. I put a little too much in, but oh well, everything's cleanable. Now that we have it filled to this level, I want to be able to feed my plants at the various levels. So I'm going to add some Miracle Grow in here and just add that to the soil so they can have a good drink. It's a shake and feed. And we're going to add, what I want to add in here is I'm going to add a couple of the potato vines in here and some petunias because I want the trailing habit here. So I think we'll do the petunias first, and then we will do probably 2 petunias, 2 verbena in here, and then we'll do some potato vines, or maybe 1 potato vine. I got to figure this out. I'm not quite sure how I want this to look and feel, but I know I want it to be really full, and that's the key. Do I want it full of color? Do I want it full of vines? That's the question. And the table is pretty full, so I'm just going to move stuff around to make this work. In fact, I'm going to use my wave petunias for this one, I think. So I'm just going to move these out of the way. These are a great filler. I think I want the power of a wave. I have 3 waves here to use. This is the Easy Wave Violet. You can see the color there. It's really pretty. Then I have another Easy Wave here. This is a red, Easy Wave Red. So I'm going to do some hot colors in this. It's not going to be all soft pastels. I'm going to mix it up really good. And then we're doing Easy Wave Blue. So I'm going to take the ones and I'm going to put them through the holes here. And I'm going to take off any blooms if I have trouble sticking them through. Sometimes it can be a problem, like as you can see, these root balls are pretty thick, trying to get them through the hole. So what we do is we pick them apart and thin them out. That's why we need to come back through and give them a good water, because we have to fit them through the holes. And I had to do this last time, and it looks like I'm butchering the petunia when I do this, but they're very resilient. And you just shove them in like that. And that's how easy it is to put them in. Now because, and looking at this, because the sweet potatoes are larger, I'm not gonna put them in the sides. I'm just gonna have them drape over, because they're pretty darn strong plants and they do have a draping habit anyhow. I'm gonna put a red one in here now, if I can get it out of the container. And you can see I'm gonna have to give these a good water. They're looking a little dry. So we're just gonna go over here to the next hole. Really dry. I must have missed watering these today. Good thing I'm doing this project. And we're just going to shove it through the hole and pinch it so it hangs out. And now we're going to take one of the blues and do the same thing. I think I'll do all petunias around the outer edge. I think that just makes sense on these. And we have another hole right here. And then we have one more right here. And it doesn't matter what color we do at this point. I think I'll do another red. I want vibrancy. That's one thing, you guys, you'll know about me, is I'm not afraid to mix colors. I think a variety of color is really gorgeous. Especially when you live in a cold climate, you just crave that color because you don't have any all year round. So I think that's part of the reason why I'm more than willing to take a chance and mix reds with blues and everything just to perk things up. So there it is. They're all in there. I've got all 4 holes filled. Push that one in just a bit more. Make sure my cord's not in the way. And not tangled up in the plant. So now what we do is we put some more soil in it. And then we plant the top layer. I have to tell you, this is so much easier working with the plastic than the cocoa weave. Cocoa weave was more of a challenge. These holes are nice to work with. And you could do this to your pots too. It doesn't have to be a self-watering pot. It can be any pot. If you've got a good quality hanging basket that has lasted you for years, like I've had these a really long time, then they are a perfect candidate for this. So one of the things I want to put in here right off the bat is I want to put our centerpiece in, and it is going to be one of these beautiful daisies that are kind of leaning. And what I should do before I do this is put my shake and feed in before I forget. So that's our centerpiece to give it some height. And I'm going to pick a little bit off of it to make it fit properly in this pot, because the hump is in the center of this pot where the strip is that wicks up the water to the plants. So we're just going to do that. It's going to be a little flopsy, and that's okay. Just going to push that into place. And like, even though the plants, you'll see they're hanging out down here, the roots are hanging out, that's okay because they will fill in. All right, so around here, we want to put in next our sweet potato vines. So I'm going to put in this one, Ipomea black sweet potato vine. I had a really hard time finding sweet potato vines this year. Not sure why. I found them sometimes in the most unlikely places. So it was okay though. I was happy that I found them. I just took some of the dirt off of it because it was too big. And we're just going to lean it toward the side. Make sure we got those roots well covered. And technically, we can put 4 plants in here of this and crowd the heck out of it. So I'm going to use this other one. This is a one of Ipomea. This is sweet red potato vine. It's not the black, it's more the red. And I figure I've got it, so let's use it up. So I'm just going to take some dirt off of it, and we're going to put it right across. And that looks great with the yellow. And lean it a bit. Make sure I got those roots in. They've got some long roots on them, which is good. It means it's healthy. It definitely needs to be planted. And now we're going to put in the green sweet potato vines. I want a lot of crawling on this by the vines, a lot of dangling. There, you can see the roots on this, because I had to take a lot of dirt off because it's just going to be, they're too tall. And I got a lot of roots there, you can see. I'm just going to pull some of these off. I should have pulled them off before I put them in, but you know how that goes. And then I'm going to turn it around. We'll do the other one. There. So I took it down in size. So that's not too bad. We have a lot going on here, but it's working out nicely. Now I want to fill in between these plants. So you can see we've got some gaps here, and we're ready for some color. And I'll just pick the odd bad leaf off the plants too. They will be so happy when I water them. Now, we could use geraniums in here as well for color, but I think I want to add the verbena in here. So here's my verbena. It's not in a divided cell pack. So what I do is I just come in here and I just grab a piece just like that and plop it in. So we can put it right here. So we're going to put 2 of these in. So I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to put 2 of these in, because they have a nice cascading effect and they like to spread. And we'll put another one right there. This is a good way to use up your plants. And you can pinch these back too, so they spread. That's another tip. And now we're going to come through and we're going to fill in the gaps on this. So we have room now. I can stick some geraniums in here just for the fun of it. I really think it needs some white, So I have a couple of my white geraniums, and they're all covered with fuzz because the trees were shedding, so you can see here. So I'm going to do two different ones. I'll throw a white one in the side here to help break up that color a little bit. And we'll let it cascade as well. And then I'm going to throw a different one. And I got my geraniums all mixed up. So, you know, you never know what color I'm going to throw in here. Over here we have a gap. And then we're going to plug this even more. We're going to go hard. So we have the verbena there, geranium there. So we are back over here where we need some colors. It's going to look here for a gap. And I'm going to shove it in right here. That's where it belongs. And you can see how full this is starting to get. But we're not done. I need to add some Nicotiana in here because I need to use them up. So I'm just going to pop a couple out. And these colors were a mix, so you don't know what you're going to get. And you can see that they've seen better days, so just overwatered, but they'll be fine. I'll just pick off those stems that were overwatered. And we're just going to plug it in down here. And it'll fill in the gap. And I'm just going to go around here and put some in all around. I need at least 3. There we go. So you can see how they're looking. Not the best, but that's my fault. I should have moved them when we got all that rain. But it's okay. It shows for demo purposes and everything that not everything's perfect in the gardening world. And I'll come over here, add some more in. Because these don't trail. They're an upright plant, the Nicotiana. So they aren't something that you want to have trailing in there. So we have a gap right in here where we can go and we can add something else. With the Nicotiana there, so we can add something right in front. So I am thinking we will put another verbena. Now that's a wild arrangement. You can see here, it's really full with the petunias hanging out the sides. But I think we're going to have quite a bit of nice color in it. And I think it'll be soft at the top and bold at the bottom. And I don't know what color the verbena is. It's a mixed variety. So who knows what we'll get. Nicotiana as well. It could be reds, it could be lime greens. It could be any of those colors. It could be a white. And then we definitely have a white geranium on the other side, and then this one, which is probably a pinto pink. I'm going to give it a dose of liquid fertilizer to feed it right now. This is the Holland Secret Grow 217. This is the one that I've been trialing this year, so we'll see how it goes. And I'm just going to put a capsule in the water jug. And then we're going to water it thoroughly. And it's okay if it leaks out, because then I know for sure I hit those other plants. So just give it a second to drape down. And water it really, really good. All right, so that one's done. I'll move it out of the way and we're going to do the next one. Here's the other one. It's already partially filled because I reused the soil that I took off the plants. I'll just put some fertilizer in and we're going to pop those petunias in right now. All right, and this one I'm not putting any Nicotiana in it. So we're going to give it a water. I've already got my fertilizer in here and give it a good soaking. And there they are, all hung up and looking glorious. I added a few more butterflies this year. I think it fills the fence out nicely. I'd like to add some more hanging pots in this area, but we'll see if I get to that or not. But I think it's looking good. I think those plants are going to look gorgeous when they fill in, and I'll give you guys an update. So I hope you enjoyed this video. For new subscribers, don't forget that I'm running videos 2 to 3 times a week right now. It may pick up. I haven't been feeling well, so I haven't done a lot, and plus I work full time, but I will do what I can. If you're seeing water, that's the sprinkler running. But don't forget to give me a like and a subscribe. Anybody who's watching that's not subscribed, it's free to subscribe. It won't cost you anything to like, comment, and subscribe. And I look forward to hearing from you.